Hello, everyone. Thank you for attending today's webinar, Understanding the New Age of Digital Banking. My name is Charlee Chelette. I am the Community Impact Officer here at Neches Federal Credit Union, and I have a very special guest with me today. I have Megan Woodard, AVP of Digital Services. Hello, Megan, and thank you for joining me today.
Good morning, Charlie. Thank you for having me.
Of course. So, today's webinar, we will be discussing all things digital banking. And I know when we say digital banking or new technologies in general, it can be scary for some people. And so, the purpose of today's webinar is to provide you with enough information to hopefully alleviate that scariness and allow you to dive deeper into digital banking. So, without further ado, let's jump right into it. Megan, if you don't mind, let's level set the conversation by explaining what is digital banking.
Yeah, so digital banking is banking that can be done through a digital platform. These are services like checking your account through the Natchez website, video chatting with a member of our lending team, or even making a deposit at our Natchez Go locations. A little backstory for you. When I started working in banking almost 20 years ago, banking was very different than it is today. Every week, members would get their paycheck from their employer. They would bring it to the credit union to deposit into their account. Some members had debit cards, but a lot of them still preferred to write checks to pay their bills. They would send those checks through the mail, wait roughly 7 to 10 days for payments to be posted. And then most of those people would also wait for a statement to come in the mail so that they could verify their transactions, or they would have to call their financial institution to check their balances. Companies like Amazon and Netflix, they changed what the consumer's expectations were as far as receiving these services. And just like everything else in history, banking began to change. The digital channel also continued to grow. So, why should you have to wait for your statement to come in at the end of the month when you can just go online and you can view your information? We also saw a lot of changes with banking during the year 2020 with the COVID pandemic. Our lobbies closed down at the credit union. With all the unknowns surrounding the pandemic, businesses found themselves having to get creative with ways to offer those services to members. So we had the online accounts prior to the pandemic, but that's when we really started to see a growth of a lot of those services. And with our lobbies closed, members started depositing their checks through our mobile app using remote deposit capturing. They needed to be able to transfer money from one person to another. So we saw services like external transfers and P2P transfers. Those really grew as well. We introduced our Natchez Go branches during that time also, so members could go through the drive-through, they could be face to face with a teller, and they could make those deposits or withdrawals from their Natchez account, just like if they had gone into the lobby of the credit union. After that time, we also started to introduce video banking and online chat. Those are two of our newer services that allow members to digitally communicate with members of our team. Chat is a service that's offered everywhere. I can chat with my cell phone company. I can chat with my doctor's office. And so banking followed that trend as well. And we also offer that chat service as well. So digital banking covers all of these services that you could previously do in branch with a member service representative or a lender, and they can now be performed through the online channel.
Yes, Megan, thank you so much for giving us that insight into digital banking and a little bit of how it has evolved over the years. I know that it's become increasingly more popular with our members as their preferred way of doing their financial transactions. And that's mostly due to the conveniences associated with digital banking. So that leads us into our next topic. And that is if you could just provide not only a look into the digital services that we offer, but some of the conveniences that are tagged along with those services.
Yeah. So one of the many things I love about our digital services is that there is something for everyone. Whether you live right down the road from the credit union or you live on the other side of the country, we strive to offer digital services that fit each of our members' needs. So one of the most commonly used forms of digital banking is online banking. Our members can visit our website, nechesfcu.org, and they can log into their account. They can check the status of their account 24 hours a day from their computer, tablet, or smartphone. They can view their balances, they can make transfers, they can check the status of their transactions. Over the years, the services inside the online banking, they've grown to give members the opportunity to do many other things. They can check their credit score. They will have a soft pull on their credit so it doesn't impact their credit score when they're reviewing that. They can view their bank statements, and they can even transfer money to their friends and family that don't have an account at the credit union. My family and I, we always used to have to wait until the credit union was open to transfer money from one to the other. But now we utilize that service inside of our online banking, and we can transfer money to one another 24 hours a day. There's also the ability to view my debit card, and I can set alerts and notifications. I can turn my debit card off and on. Um, I like that feature, especially now that my kids have reached the age where they have debit cards. So I can set the alerts to notify me every time my son uses his debit card. If he's misplaced his debit card somewhere in his bedroom, we can turn the card off and then turn it back on once we've found it. So it's really come in super helpful with our Empower checking accounts that we've opened up for our kids. And then I also have the ability to check my Neches credit card and even make payments to my Neches credit card through our online banking. Several of those services in the online banking are also inside the Neches app. One of my favorite features in the app is mobile deposit. I don't receive many paper checks, but when I do, I love to just be able to snap a picture of it and put the check aside, and I don't have to worry about remembering to bring that check to the credit union. Our team here at the credit union reviews those, they post it to the account, and the money's there for me to spend. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to share my screen for a moment, and I want to show some more digital services that are located inside on the outside of our website. This would be outside of our online banking. Okay, so on our website, there are many services that our members can use. They can make a payment to their Neches loan using an account that is outside of their Neches account. So um, they can go to our online loan payment platform, and they can make a loan payment using a non-Neches account. Members have the opportunity to either do a one-time payment, or they can even do a reoccurring payment where they just kind of set it and forget it. You put your routing number and account number in for your other institution, and set it to where it pays that loan a certain time each month, and it withdraws that money out of the other account and applies it to your Neches loan. And you can open up an account and apply for a loan on our website as well. So if you come right here in the middle of the page, you see an option to open up an account or apply for a loan. The really neat thing about opening an account online is you can use this to open up an account that you want that's brand new, or you can also use it to add like a checking or another savings account to your existing Neches account. So it's not just for opening up a brand new account. You can use it to add an additional share to your existing account. And then we send all those documents out electronically for our members to sign. They don't have to come into the credit union to sign anything with us. And then, like I mentioned previously, we also have our video chat that we've most recently introduced. So it is right here. I can click on this page right here, and it'll direct me to where I can chat with a loan officer. And then we also have our live chat. So one of the really cool things about the live chat is that it's available 24 hours a day. So there is a virtual assistant that is built into this, and you can go in and you can ask it questions like, what is my routing number? How can I report fraud? There's a variety of things that are built into that, and we're always looking to grow that. And then while the credit union is open, you can choose to chat with an agent and speak with a member of our member services or of our lending team. I really enjoy the chat feature because sometimes I don't always have that opportunity to pick up the phone and give someone a call. But I am always in front of a computer or I always have my phone with me, and it's easy for me to just send a message and communicate with someone that way.
Absolutely. Great information there, Megan. Thank you so much for sharing all of that. And as we've mentioned so far, we've mentioned the positives and the conveniences associated with digital banking. And we would be remiss if we didn't mention the part of digital banking that some people do find scary and is a genuine concern for some people. And that is, how do you keep your information secure? And so, Megan, please let our members know some of the ways that they can have peace of mind in knowing that their information is secure on those digital banking services.
Yeah, so fraudsters will often try to impersonate your financial institution. Some things to keep in mind is that a NACHES representative will never call you and ask you for your personal information, and that includes your account number and your PIN. Um, if a member of our team texts you a code, we will text you that code when you call us. We will never call you and text you a code to verify your identity. So if that does happen, that's a red flag. They may be using that code to do something that they shouldn't be doing. It's important to make sure that you're monitoring your email and your text messages for notifications regarding any changes to your account that you didn't authorize. A best practice, if you do receive one of these notifications, is to visit the website directly for that company rather than clicking on any links or calling a phone number that's in that email because that email may not be from that company specifically. This is definitely safer than trying to Google a phone number for that company or using the links within that email. Some users even like to have an email set aside that is just for their banking and financial needs. My email is on this company's website and this company's website, and I use the same email everywhere. So if one of those companies was compromised and my email information was on that, then a fraudster would have my email and my password as well. If I use the same password from this website to this website in our online banking, a fraudster could easily log in and try to gain access to my information. And so some people do recommend using a separate email just for your banking needs, and then also changing your usernames and your passwords so that they're different from each site that you use. Be careful when checking your account on a public Wi-Fi. Public Wi-Fi isn't always the most secure, and so when you're logging into things like your online banking or you're logging into a certain company's website, that information could easily be stolen if you're using a public Wi-Fi that's not secure. And then always be mindful of the company that you're working with, whether you're purchasing an item from a link that you found online or you're getting a loan from a company that isn't well known. It's important to make sure that you're doing business with a trusted source. If it sounds too good to be true, then it probably is. And when in doubt, just give us a call. If you have any concerns about what someone is asking you to do, give us a call or come into one of our branches. A member service representative will gladly look over the details and offer you some guidance on that.
Well, Megan, I believe that's all the time we have today. Thank you so much for joining me today and sharing your knowledge with all of our members that were able to join this webinar today. Do you have any final thoughts before we wrap up?
Yeah, so one important thing to keep in mind about all the different areas of digital banking that we offer is that there's a person behind everything that we do. And it's that person who makes the difference. So our services may look different than they did 20 years ago, but our team at Natchez is here to make sure that all of your banking needs are met.
Very well said, Megan. Again, thank you. And for our attendees today, just remember to familiarize yourself with digital banking and its conveniences. There are a lot of products and services here available at Nature's Federal Credit Union. So the more you can familiarize yourself with those and utilize those, the more you can maximize your membership here. And as always, like Megan mentioned, If you need anything, you can give us a call. You can visit our website, nechesfcu.org. You can visit any of our branches. And again, thank you so much for attending today's webinar, Understanding the New Age of Digital Banking. My name's Charlie, and Megan was our special guest, and that's all we have for you today. Thank you and have a great day.